Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you guys, and I apologize for the technical difficulties before. First time on this Trading Pub Trade-a-thon. I'm very excited. Yana, thank you very much for that very warm welcome. Thank you, Gary. Jeff doesn't see my slide. A few others don't see my slide either.
If you guys have trouble seeing Eric's slides, hit the blue X in the top right corner of your screen and hit reload.
Okay, perfect. Okay, guys, thank you very much. I want to apologize again for the 2-minute delay there with the technical difficulties. We are ready to go. My name is Eric eMoney Spiker. I picked up the name eMoney because of my trading style, and I'll explain that during this presentation. So in today's presentation, I'm going to teach you guys how to make money trading the news. Okay, we trade futures, and here's the deal that I want to make with you. I know that you have a lot of things going on. It's 2014. You have your text messages going on. Here's what I want to ask from you. If you stay devoted with me these next 60 to 70 minutes, and you really engage with me and stay present with me, then I promise you this, that after the next 60 to 70 minutes, that you will have learned exactly what we mean by trading the news and how we are able to make money trading the news. So I really want to ask each and every one of us, you made the time to be here live, and I really want to thank you for that. I value your time, and I promise you that the next 60 minutes will be very educational, and I'm going to make sure you know exactly how we're able to trade, how we're able to make money trading the news. So with that, I kind of want to grab your attention right away, and I want to go ahead and show you a real live trade that we used with our program. Our program is the Joe Bracket Breakout, joebracketbreakout.net. So what I want to do right ahead is go ahead and show you a live trade. Actually, I took this trade a month ago. This is the Australian unemployment change, and yesterday, this is a report that comes out once a month, and I took the same trade last night, and it was a great trade. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to be able to record it and to post it here, but I want to be able to share this video. So does everyone see my video? Does everyone see it says April 9, 2014 Australian unemployment change? Okay, perfect. Thank you, Rick. Perfect. Thank you for the feedback. I really appreciate it, guys. So take a look, okay? I don't want to bore you. I want to show you exactly what we're doing with the program. So this is in the real live trade that I took on April 9th. And last night I took the same trade, and I'd be happy to share the recording with anyone who requests it afterwards. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so the first thing you'll see, this is a little example of a high impact report alert. I know it's very fast. I'm going to cover in detail. Right here is our strategy. This is the Joe Bracket Breakout strategy. And here's where we enter in all of the details that Jay, our founder, who I'll speak about, will give us in what we call a high impact report alert. So 24 hours before the news comes out, we have an email listing the report and the settings that we're going to use with our software. And now watch what's happening. It's 12 seconds before the news is going to come out. And watch how our JVB software works magic. Check this out. Okay, so 3 seconds before the news comes out, we have 2 orders that are pending, and watch the beauty of JOBB. So immediate spike north, and take a look at that. Okay, I'm going to pause this video. In 5 seconds on one contract, I just made $200, and that's my live account. And I know that I was listening to the other presenters before we go, and I know a lot of people were asking, trades, and they wanted to see broker statements. Well, guess what? I have some exciting news for you. I will be sharing with you my broker statements when I was a member of the JVB system. Okay, so that right there is one example of a great JVB trade. And watch, look at this on the right. You see we have the Bloomberg News TV feed going on, and these big shots over here are talking about the news that just came out, and basically we already made money. Take a look at our chat room right over here. This is a great addition to our program. You could see here that many of our members over here made money. Some of them are still in sim because they're new and they're starting out. But once again, watch the beauty of JVB. The 2 brackets open, huge spike north, and we get out automatically. Hit my profit target of 20 ticks, and I'm out. And I see all of your questions, and I promise I'm going to get to them. We have plenty of time, so I'll address all of your questions. So feel free to keep writing in your questions. I'll be sure to tackle them, okay? Okay. All right, so that was basically a live trade. Now, before I want to continue, I just want to give a quick risk disclosure, okay? Basically, we're an educational company, and we have to basically make it very clear, and you should know that, futures trading is risky business, make no mistake about it, okay? There's a high chance of loss in electronic trading, and it can be substantial. Therefore, you should consider whether such trading is suitable for you, okay? Bottom line is we want to make sure we comply with government regulations. We want to make sure that, no rosemary picture here, okay? Obviously, there are high rewards in futures trading. It comes with risk, okay? So that's just a quick note, a quick risk disclosure. Okay, so here's the agenda for today, okay? I actually want to start off by giving a quick little history of futures trading. I promise you I'm not going to bore you. I'm actually going to give you quick education because it's funny, most traders who are future traders don't really take a second to even appreciate how this all started and what's the whole business of futures trading. So I'm going to give a quick history of futures trading. I'm going to give you the 101 on use trading. I'm going to go over and introduce myself and speak about my partner, Jay, the founder of JVB. I'm going to explain to the detail how our JVB software works. I'm going to explain the value of our JVB software. And I'm actually going to share with you our 2-year performance track record with our JVB software. Now, another hot topic that a lot of traders struggle with is bankroll management. Okay, if you're a trader, you know that bankroll management is key to long-term success. And being from an accounting background, I'm going to share with you some of my tips for bankroll management. And then, of course, I'm very excited to share with you our brand new trap trade software. And so I saw a couple of comments. Chris, I saw your comment about slippage. Well, guess what, my friend? We have a new trap trade software, okay, that actually there's no slippage at all for when we trade the news, okay? So if you want to understand what I'm talking about, no slippage, and what slippage is, I will cover that. So very exciting. And then, of course, I'm going to reward each and every one of you guys for sticking on the trade-a-thon. And I'm going to make sure to give you a very special offer, and then we're going to cover any Q&A that I don't cover already inside of the presentation. So let's go ahead and let's dive in. Okay, so the history of futures trading. Well, again, very quick history. Okay, so basically about 150 years ago, okay, farmers, okay, in Chicago, there was an invention called McCormick reaper, and basically what this invention did, it eventually led to higher wheat production. Okay, so now we have these farmers in the Midwest who are producing, lots of wheat, and this is just giving you a little taste of how this all started. And they have all these bushels of wheat, and they want to be able to make money from it and sell it. But guess what? They don't have the best conditions of storing all these bushels of wheat. And so what happens is, let's say you're a store owner. Let's say, for instance, who is someone that might need wheat? Maybe a bakery, right? They need wheat to make bread and make their bakery goods. So it's May right now, and a farmer has 5,000 bushels and that's ready to sell. Well, guess what? You can go ahead and place an order for 5,000 bushels to be delivered to your bakery in June. Now, why would we do that? Well, because of the fact that the farmer, okay, wants to be able to guarantee that he has, a sale coming up in June. And then for the bakery owner, he wants to make sure that, if the prices might fluctuate in June. Okay, maybe there's really bad weather conditions, and all of a sudden the price of wheat will go tremendously up. So eventually, it just started off with farmers and actual business owners. But then what happened was there were agents that were involved. Okay, so let's say someone like yourself as a trader, you could go ahead and buy one contract of 5,000 bushels, and then even though you don't own a bakery, you could bet that maybe there's going to be a strong demand for wheat in June, and then flip that. Let's say it was $500 from which you bought it from the farmer. You could flip that for, let's say, $1,000. So this is what kind of the backbone and the history of futures trading, which originally developed about 150 years ago. And in today's world, okay, today, basically a lot of the participants who trade futures, okay, it's not limited to farmers and agricultural goods, okay? We trade currencies, financial instruments, treasury bonds. It's a diverse meeting place of farmers, exporters, importers, manufacturers, speculators, traders, and of course JVB members. And you know what? We need to take a pause for a minute, and really, it's a beautiful thing trading futures in 2014. Okay, because of modern technologies, okay, we're able to do things which even 10, 15 years ago we were not able to do. And I'm talking specifically now about some of the softwares that we're able to use. So it's really an exciting day and age, and it's really awesome for us to be able to benefit from trading futures. Okay, so with that, I want to move on. And I know a lot of basic questions usually that I get about are which trading platform do we use? Well, our program, our software, is specifically dedicated to the NinjaTrader platform. Okay, for those of you who trade futures, NinjaTrader is definitely a trading platform that you heard of. We've done a lot of research, and we found that NinjaTrader to be one of the best trading platforms out there for futures trading. So after this presentation, if by any means you don't have NinjaTrader, well, you could definitely get a demo for free and be able to test our software for free without having to make a purchase. But yes, I want to answer everyone directly. If you do decide to use our program, you will need the paid version of NinjaTrader. They have several options, and I know that they have a leasing option where it's I don't want to misquote the price, but you can get it for a small monthly payment for 3 months. And so bottom line is NinjaTrader is a great trading platform, and you'll need to use it to be able to benefit from our software. And so for those of you who are new to futures, okay, I just wanted to recommend 2 brokers really quickly, okay? I just wanted to present this as a value add. It's not to do a sales pitch for these brokers. It's really just for those futures traders who need a reliable brokers. I could tell you right now, Peter Lee from Progressive Trading Group. Peter has many clients from JOBB, and I could tell you the feedback is always tremendous. Peter Lee always provides, he treats all of his clients like VIPs. And the bottom line is this: all brokers, they all make money, they all make commissions on every time we trade. Okay, so what I like about Peter Lee from Progressive Trading Group, and I'm going to share another great broker, Global Futures, is that these guys take the time to know who you are, and when you pick up the phone and call, they'll know who you are by first name. So Peter Lee, this is his contact information. I highly recommend Progressive Trading Group. For those of you who already have trading accounts and you have an account of more than $5,000, then I highly recommend that you check out Progressive Trading Group. Okay, you'll be blown away by some of their margins. So once again, this is Progressive Trading Group. Here's Peter Lee's contact information. Another great broker, Global Futures. For those of you who have smaller accounts of about $2,500 or less, Global Futures, they have tremendous margins for those who have accounts between $1,500 to $3,000. I highly recommend that you look up Global Futures. And the one really cool thing about Global Futures is that they have a dedicated IT team that knows our software. And so if you need some help with installing our software, in addition to us, you could even call them, and their IT team will be able to help you out. Okay, so with that, I want to just dive into the JVB material, and I want to basically share with you another video. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you another video. And by the way, that wasn't, just to make it clear, this is Global Futures, okay? Not AMP Futures. Okay. So I'm going to share with you guys another video. Another live real JVB trade. Okay, so this is from March 7th, 2014. This is the non-farm unemployment change. So check this out. Okay, so again, that was very fast, and I'm going to make sure to go over it in detail. But bottom line is, okay, bottom line is this is the unemployment change. I'm going to cover this in detail. This is one of the most anticipating reports that comes out every single month. Okay, if you're trading, you don't know about it, this is something you got to know. It's the non-farm employment change. It comes out usually on the first Friday of the month, and basically it's one of the biggest economic indicators in the U.S. economy of how many jobs are created. So basically, I'm going to cover this in detail, but this is a quick snapshot of a high-impact report alert, which is something that our members receive, extremely valuable. 24 hours in advance, you know exactly what trade we're going to take, and you see the parameters right here. It tells you exactly what to put into the JVB software. Okay, so I'm going to replay that trade one more time so we could talk about it, and you could see exactly how much money we made, and you could see how easy it was to capture the profits. You'll notice here on this trade, I actually traded with a 5-tick stop. Okay, so here I am. This is our Joe Bracket breakout software. Okay, and I'm gonna inside of our strategy, I put in all of the parameters that you just saw in that high impact report alert. So you'll see here the time. Okay, so 3 seconds before the news, our brackets will open up. We'll use a bracket distance of 3 here, and I have a profit target set for 15 ticks. So check this out. I want to share with you exactly, so right here I enable the software. You see our JVB logo in the background. And now all I'm going to do is patiently wait. So 7 seconds before the news comes out, watch how our JVB system works magic. So the brackets open and watch. Huge spike south, and literally in 3 seconds I just made $468.75. Okay, so $468.75 trading the news, making easy money in 3 seconds. Okay, so just remember that number, $468.75 in 3 seconds. So very powerful. Okay, it's really unbelievable. Just trading one contract and making this $468. It's unbelievable. And I had a, again, here's the trade one more time. Only a 5-tick stop. So I was risking 5 ticks to be able to make 15 ticks of profit here. Okay, so I see a lot of your questions, great questions. People want to know about our track rate, about slippage. These are all things that I'm going to be covering. So great questions, guys. So one of the cool things about our program is that I understand, first of all, and I'll share my background a little bit. One of the things that when I went on this journey is about transparency. A lot of presenters will say, this could do this, you could make this amount of money and this amount of money. Well, in our program, we have a chat room. Okay, so we could say whatever we want, but after every single trade, you'll see real members posting their results, and I don't think that there's anything that's better than that. And over here, you can see right after that report, you see here, Sanjay made 15 ticks, Dojis made 11 ticks, and we make sure in our chat room we have a code where when you post in a result, it's assumed that it's live. So if you put plus 15, that means it's live. If it's not live, then the code is that you have to specify that it's sim. So right here, Gray Rock made 7 ticks sim. So we'll never ever show you sim trades. We always show real live trades, and I'll continue to show you many trades. And I just want to take a second to say that in this presentation, I'm actually very excited because I'm going to be sharing with you my story and how I took a $2,000 account and how I turned it into over $20,000 in profits, okay, in a couple of months. So here we go. So as you can see here from that trade, you can see here, I wrote here bread and butter JVB report. Rockin made plus 20 and 30 ticks. That was a sim trade. Mario made 20 ticks live. Okay, and you can see here, I made 15 ticks here. And so bottom line, you can see, a lot of people are just making a bunch of money here. We get emails all the time from our members who, I even have a video that was sent to me but bottom line is $468.75. Okay, so let's go back to our presentation here. So, News Trading 101. So, I, by the way, am of a visual learner, so that's why I like to share videos. So I want to be able to, share videos, and now after watching 2 real trades, I'm going to cover the News Trading 101. So every single day, okay, there are economic news reports that are coming out daily from different government agencies, okay, and these reports, these news reports, they influence the price action of different instruments, okay. So for an example, that last trade that I showed you, that was a non-farm employment change, okay. That's the job creation. Now, job creation is an extremely important leading indicator of consumer spending, which accounts for a majority of overall economic activity. Bottom line is non-farm, okay, that's a huge indicator of how the U.S. economy is doing. And that report is not just something that comes out from the U.S. government, that comes out with many other governments, like last night, okay, the first trade that I shared with you, the Australian employment change. And you don't even need to take my word for it, okay, you don't even have to wait for me to send you the video from last night. You can go ahead, if any of you want, you can go back, if you have NinjaTrader or whatever system you're using, go ahead and take a look at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time yesterday. Take a look at what the Australian news did, okay? Second the price came out, there was a really, really strong report. The Australian government has been releasing very strong positive numbers in employment change, and that leads to a really strong price movement in the Australian dollar, okay? It makes sense. If the economy is strong, then it makes sense for the 6A, the Australian dollar, to go up in price value. So the exact second that the data is released, the price of certain instruments spike long or short depending on the news depending on the news results as compared to the forecast result. So a great tool, okay, even if for those of you who, you know what, you see this presentation, you see news trading is not for you, this is something that you have to be knowledgeable about, okay? Doesn't matter if you like swing trading or if you're, you like to scalp the news. You need to make sure that you know when these news results come out. So a great resource that's free is forexfactory.com. And this is a little snapshot from forexfactory.com. And you can see here, this is from March 7, 2014. And I'll explain to you how to read it here. So basically, right here, there's a forecast column. So 151,000 jobs were predicted to be created in the month of February, right? Because March 7th, that's accounting for the previous month's data. But guess what? The second that the news came out, it was 175,000 jobs. So 25,000 jobs better than expected. Okay? So that deviation, by the way, and that leads us to our next slide, okay? That's what causes that spike, okay? The fact that whatever the forecast was, there was a huge difference, a huge variance, and that's what's going to cause a spike either north or south. So once again, this is an example of a high-impact report alert, and this is something that all of our members receive 24 hours in advance to any trade that we take. And so I'll just go ahead and answer one of the questions that I see here is how many trades do we take? Right now, we're up to about 50 trades a month, okay? And I've been a member here, okay? And when I first started here, okay, I'm a former member, and I'm now a managing partner. And when I was a member, we only were trading about a dozen or so reports. So it shows you that Jay, I'll introduce, I'll tell you more about Jay in just a second here. He continues to research the market. He's a very fascinating individual. And so this is just one of our great reports that we trade each month. And so definitely high impact report alert. This is a little snippet. There's a lot more information. Usually there's at least 2 paragraphs of data here, and later I'll show you what else we have in our membership website. Okay. By the way, I know that depending on where you are, it can be a little bit later. It's evening time where I am right now, so I just want to let everyone know right now that we're going to be giving away some free bonuses just in case anyone needs to go leave. I'm not going to release a special until the end of the presentation, but I can tell you right now, for those of you who opt in to our list within 30 minutes after this presentation at newjob.com, that's with 2 B's, NEWJOBB.com, I'm actually going to be giving you for free one of those high impact report alerts that's going to be coming out soon. So if you opt on to our list, I'll give you for free one of those high impact report alerts so you could get a taste of exactly those high impact report alerts. And I'm also going to give you a free JVB special report which covers and explains exactly how our JVB system works. And I'm also going to be giving you some free educational videos. So one more time, for those of you who opt into our list at the end of the presentation, NEWJVB.com, just opt in and I'll make sure to send you one of these high impact report alerts for free. Okay. So without further ado, I want to talk about my partner Jay Jay Offner. He's a founder of Joe Bracket Breakout, and JOBB literally stands for Jay Offner's Bracket Breakout System. Okay, so JOBB. Jay is a fascinating individual. He is a naval officer. Okay, he's a submarine commander. He actually trains submarine commanders in the U.S. Navy, and he has served in the U.S. Navy in submarine warfare for 8 years and is currently in the U.S. Navy Reserve. And so bottom line is that Jay is actually a nuclear engineer. Okay, and Jay has spent many years, 20,000 leagues under the sea. And Jay, back in 2000, I believe 2008, 2009, he's been researching. John, Semper Fi. Actually, Jay taught me that. Semper Fidelis. Yes, always be faithful. So basically, Jay has, he was looking at these spikes that were coming out on his charts, and he was wondering what's going on, and he noticed that there were spikes whenever there was major news events that were going out. Now, for those of you who are traders, what is the word on the street? The word on the street is most professional traders will tell you, news trading, stay away from it, okay? 5 minutes before a news event, 5 minutes after a news event, do not trade. Well, someone like Jay Offner, okay, didn't wait for someone to come up with a program. Jay did his research. He studied the markets, okay, many, many years of research and study. And Jay came up with a system, called it the JOVB system, and he launched it in March of 2012. And since then, Jay has been live now with the program with 2 years. Tremendous, tremendous track record, which I'll share with you. And bottom line is I was a member of JVB originally, and I'm a success story. And I've been under Jay's wing now for several years. And, Jay asked me to join his partnership, and it's a true honor to be here. In fact, only about a year ago, I was literally, for those of you listening, just a regular member. Okay, a regular member. I always try to give back, and later if you go on YouTube, you could search eMoney NYC trading, and you'll see a bunch of videos of me trading while I had a full-time job. And I might as well go ahead and show you my slide and my background. But bottom line is Jay's a fascinating individual. He actually lives in Hawaii. He works in Pearl Harbor, and you could see him right there as naval officer, and you could see him, his wife, and his 3 wonderful kids, and his beautiful wife. So that's me. Okay. Again, my name is Eric R. Spiker. I'm a partner here at JVB. I live in Brooklyn, New York, with my beautiful wife, Vicky. Happens to be French Canadian. So hello to all the Canadians who are with us. I'm a former Big Four accounting alumni, and so when I was a member, okay, I had a very, very busy work week. Hang on, guys. I just want to make sure everyone could see my slides. Can everyone see my slides? Can everyone see a picture of myself and my beautiful wife, Vicky? Thank you, Kendo. Okay, sorry. Okay, so basically, when I was trading, okay, I had a full-time job. I was working about 50 hours, 60, even 70 hours a week, okay? For those of you familiar with Big Four accounting firms, okay, you know what I'm talking about. And I was looking for a trading methodology that would be able to, fit into my busy work schedule. And so the really cool thing about our trading program is that it gives a predictable schedule of market action. Okay, so for instance, that non-farm employment change, I know that it's going to be coming out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the first Friday of every month. So I know I could already plan ahead when I need to, step outside with my laptop. And I'm serious. You could go on YouTube and you could see me with my laptop trading in a cafe in Midtown Manhattan. And these are some of the additional risks that I did. Of course, I don't recommend anyone ever trade on a Wi-Fi or MiFi, but being a young guy like myself, as Yana pointed out, tenacious young fellow, a bold young fellow, I took some risks, and definitely I was able to make a lot of money with the JVB system, and I'm truly, it's an honor for me to be here today. I coach many students. I'm a news trading expert, and I coach students privately for 1-hour sessions on Skype. Okay, so again, I was a former member of JVB before I joined the partnership. So how does JVB work? Okay, so here's how the JVB system works. Okay, the JVB software is going to automatically enter us into the trade the moment that the news comes out. So what the JVB software does is it places 2 pending entries 3 to 5 seconds before the news comes out. So what we're basically doing here, and I like to make things very simple. I don't like to throw in hard jargon or terminology that doesn't make sense. Bottom line is it's very simple. Okay, with news trading, what we're doing here, and I'll just backtrack a couple of slides. Okay, you saw this right here in this slide. There was 151,000 jobs that were predicted to be made for the month of February. Okay, with JVB, what we're doing is we're placing a bet that basically if there's going to be a variance in what the actual news is versus the forecast, that will cause a price reaction one way or another. Jay and I, we're not magicians. We're not fortune tellers. We can't tell you if it's going to be a positive report or negative report. That's not what we're doing with our system. What we're doing is we're using a very scientific methodology, and we're placing 2 brackets a couple of seconds before the news comes out. And that gives us the ability to be able to benefit from those huge news spikes. So basically, we're betting that there's going to be a decisive reaction. And guess what? You would think that that this would be 50-50, right? Right, Chris? You would think that this is 50% successful because there's you think that it's a gamble. But guess what? I'm going to share with you my results, and I think you're going to be very impressed. and because our results are, you know, really astounding. So I'm just gonna share with you, okay, my actual I'm going to share with you how I took a $2,000 account to $20,000, okay, in a couple of months. Okay, so why don't I go ahead and share that with you. I'm very excited to do this, by the way. So check this out, okay? And before I share this with you, I just want to say that you know, before I started to trade with multiple contracts, as you'll see over here, here's the April 5th, 2013 non-farm employment change. You know, I was very patient. I started with a $2,000 account. I started trading with one contract, you know, and very slowly I built up my account and I started to throw in another contract and another contract. And that's really the name of the game. We're going to talk about bankroll management later on in this presentation. But the name of the game, guys, isn't to go for more ticks. It's not about making 50 ticks. It's about making those 10 to 15 ticks consecutively so that you could build up your bankroll. You could start adding more contracts, and that's when you start to make real money. So take a look at this April 5th, 2013 non-farm employment change. Now, why am I sharing with you these trades from such a long time ago? I'm sharing with you trades that I made when I was a member. Okay, these are real trades that I made as a member, and I'm not showing this to impress you. I'm showing this to inspire you. And I hope you guys appreciate it. You know, not a lot of presenters are going to show you their live, their live trades, and I'm actually going to even blow your expectations in a few seconds, and I'm going to share with you my broker statements as well from when I was a member. So this is 1 minute before the news comes out, and you can see here I'm going to be trading 10 contracts, and this is the April non-farm employment change. Now, I'm going to pause here for a second, okay? And basically, I'm going to address several of the questions that I see that are coming up right now. So, is this the same thing as OCO orders and NinjaTrader? No, it's not exactly, okay? Basically, with our system, yes, I know you're talking about NinjaTrader has OCO orders, but the beautiful thing about our program is if you think you could place manually an OCO order and place a buy and stop, go ahead and try, my friend. And I'll tell you, it's not fun. It's very nerve-wracking, and you're going to be very stressful when it comes to trading 10 contracts. The beautiful thing about our software, as you'll see in just 30 seconds from now, is that it'll place these orders automatically. Okay, so it takes away the stress of placing in manual orders. Okay, very less stressful. So watch this. 20 seconds before the news comes out. Okay, just to pretend that you're in my shoes right now. I'm trading 10 contracts. What do I do here? I remain calm. Okay, I breathe in nice and slow, and I just wait for the news to come out, and then I'm going to take control of the action. I'm going to get out very conservatively. That's how I developed the nickname E-Money. Easy money, I just take the money that's on the board. So you see how it automated the brackets? Didn't have to worry about anything. And automatically, huge spike north. And I was actually trading on an older HP laptop when I was a member, so you could see there was a little bit of lag here. Okay, and take a look at that. Over $5,000 on the board right now. What do? I pull my profit target down, try to lock in that profit, and I actually made a rookie mistake. Okay, I'll admit it. I hit the close button, okay, after there was a little bit of lag, and I hit the close button here, which is something that you should never do. For those of you who trade, clicking the close button is basically saying, get me out of the worst possible place. Okay, it's very convenient, but you should avoid doing that. Always use the profit target, always use limit orders to get out and move them manually. So take a look at that, $5,000. You can see that's my real live account there. And, unbelievable, $5,000. $5,000 is somebody's whole month's salary that I just made in, about less than 30 seconds. Okay, and I had 5,000 on the board within the first 10 seconds. And I hear some of people's concerns about slippage, and I'll be able to address that, okay, definitely. By the way, for those of you who don't know what slippage is, I might as well go ahead and address it right now. We have plenty of time. Okay, so basically slippage is, you notice here that we got filled here at 147.15. Okay, we got filled at 146.30. Right here, that blue arrow. I'll use the mouse over here. This is where our entry was, and here is where we got out. So slippage is basically, referring to the kind of like lag, if you will, of distance before you get filled. So notice over here, it was at 146, and then there was several ticks of slippage before we got filled. So why is that concern for traders? Because guess what? If there's a lot of slippage, You can maybe have filled all the way on top over here and not a lot of room for profit. Well, guess what? I have to be very, very, that trade that I shared with you earlier, that from March, I think I actually had a lot of slippage on that one, about 10 ticks of slippage. And I still had which is unusual, and I still had a 15 ticks of profit. Bottom line is slippage is something that we take very seriously in a program. In our trap trade, I'm going to share with you how slippage, there's no factors at all. And I know some of you are saying, what is he talking about, no slippage? I'm not going to fool you. I'm going to share with you our trap trade software. So again, in this trade, we got filled long. So that means we went north here and we got out here. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to play the video here. All right, so next trade I'm going to share with you, okay, and keep in mind this is April 24th, just a little over a year ago, Euro-French Flash Manufacturing. This is one of my favorite reports, and actually I took this report last year just before my 25th birthday on April 27th. And now I live in New York City, okay, so the Euro-French Flash Manufacturing report, these are European reports, which means I have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to trade them. Now, most of the reports that we trade aren't European reports, and I don't like to break my sleep cycle to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to trade. But guess what? Once I saw the track record for this news result for a couple of months, and I saw how a lot of people were making a lot of money, I made sure to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And you're going to see right now whether or not it was worth waking up. So picture this. It's like 2:55 in the morning. I'm up. And again, this is literally, I think, one of the, we do have, at least a dozen or so European trades, but very few that break out this early. And so this is maybe once a month that I actually will wake up very early for this. And actually, in my office, my trading office, I actually have a sofa bed, so that once a month when I do this trade, I could go ahead and just sleep in my sofa bed. It's very convenient. So check this out. I'm up 3 o'clock in the morning, and over here, there are, so 7 seconds before the news comes out. Okay, watch, JVB, automatically 10 contracts to buy, 10 contracts selling short. So we got filled long, and what I do here, I actually have 2 different profit targets. That's 8 contracts right there, which I got filled right over there, and then I have 2 contracts that I let ride a little bit. My methodology is hard money to make, so whenever I see a green number, I like to lock in the profits. So in this case, I locked in 8 contracts right away, and now I'm letting 2 contracts run. And you'll see right away, by the way, something I didn't point out, which I want to, you'll see part of our software will automatically put in a stop loss here. So let's say, and let me go ahead and answer a question that a lot of you are wondering. Okay, Eric, great. We got filled long, meaning it went up and continued to go up. Great, but what happens if it goes down? Well, that's why we have our stop over here to protect us. And I'm not going to try to paint a rosemary picture for you. I'm going to share with you a losing trade. Absolutely, I'm going to share with you a losing trade to show you exactly how it would protect us. So you see right here, this stop over here? This stop over here is basically, if the price goes down over here, it'll stop us out over here. Okay? So right now, you could see I have 2 contracts that I'm still live on, and I get out here. So if I made around $1,500, okay, around $1,500 on that one trade. And the beautiful thing about waking up for the French manufacturing is that 30 minutes later, the German flash manufacturing comes out. Okay, so at least if I'm waking up 3 o'clock in the morning, at least I have 2 trades that I could trade. And actually, there's a third one that we discovered now as well. So take a look at this one. 7 seconds before the news comes out. Watch. Don't need to worry about a thing. Just wait for the brackets to open and watch for the news spike. Okay, huge spike south this time. And look, I'm trying to move up my profit targets, and I don't even get a chance to. Okay, it filled both of them perfectly. So I had both my profit targets filled. And take a look at that. Okay, another $5,000. So was it worth waking up for? I'll tell you what. I won't wake up in the morning for a lot of news reports, but for $5,000, it's definitely worth me waking up, and I can handle going back to sleep. Okay, so those are some of my favorite trades that I made. Again, these are trades that I made as a member. Okay, my live account. Okay, so now I'm going to share with you several other trades. Okay, and this is the Australian cash rate, April 1st, 2013. So I mentioned that I'm not going to only show you winning reports. I'm going to share with you a losing report. So take a look at this one right here. Okay, I happened to trade this with only one contract. I wasn't so familiar with this news report. And watch what happens here, okay? So 7 seconds before the news comes out. And watch what happens here. 3 seconds before the news comes out. Brackets open. Spike. Is there a spike here? Well, you notice right away there's no immediate spike here, okay? Sometimes there's a delayed spike, but this is kind of a tell that there might not be such a huge breakout. And so we got filled long. And notice that we earned several ticks of profit, and then it kind of breaks south here, okay? So immediately what I do is I check out my stop loss, and I see that it's coming down close, and, you know, I could get out of here minus 50, but I ended up getting out here with, I think, a minus 9 or 10 ticks, okay? So no sweat here, okay? Lost 9 or 10 ticks, okay? Okay, now the next one, before I share this one, you know, I want to share with you a story. Okay, so basically, this is literally around a year ago. This is the May 3rd, 2013 non-farm employment change. This happens to be probably one of my best reports when I was a member of JVB before I became a partner. And I want to share a story with you. So here I am. I just turned 25 years old, and my fiance at the time, Vicky and I, you know, I was getting ready to. Well, she was actually my girlfriend at the time. I was getting ready to propose to Vicky, my wife now, and I was thinking about how many contracts I was going to take on this trade. Okay, this is the May 3rd, 2013 non-farm employment change, and I remember I went to sleep the night before on Thursday night, and you know, I was a little stressful. Because I knew that I felt so confidently. I really wanted to go for it. I just wasn't sure how many contracts I was going to trade. And so what happened was I ended up waking up on May 3rd very early in the morning. I woke up around 6 o'clock in the morning, and I got out of bed and I went for a walk next to my house, Sunset Park. There's you have a beautiful view of the whole New York City landscape, and I was thinking to myself, how many contracts am I going to trade on this? Okay, and I thought about it, and I said, you know what? I decided that I was going to trade 12 contracts. Okay, and you can see over here. Here's my chart, and I thought to myself that I was going to trade 12 contracts. That I was going to have a very positive report. That I was going to be able to make a lot of money, and I was going to be able to have enough funds to help me buy a beautiful wedding ring for my wife. Okay, my girlfriend at the time, Vicky. And, you know, so here I am. I took a walk to the park, and, you know, it really helps. I'll tell you right now, not to get a woo on you, but having a positive mindset and thinking positively and thinking ahead of the trade that you're going to win the trade, I'll tell you what, it's very powerful. It really is. And I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and show you this trade. So here I am 20 seconds before the news comes out. And yes, trading 12 contracts here at the time, it was you know, definitely, I was definitely anxious. And I just relax here, I breathe in, and I just let the JVB system do the magic for me. So here I go, 3 seconds before the news comes out. Check this out. Huge spike south, okay? Huge spike south, okay? Short. What do I do here? You notice there are a couple of error messages from NinjaTrader. Okay, I don't know what happened there exactly. I don't panic. I get out here with over $7,500 on the board. Okay, that's $7,593.75. Okay, I could tell you, I think my neighbor woke up. I was so excited, and I was so happy. I was thrilled. You know, just think about it. You know, you see there, that's 14 seconds on the clock. Okay. I made $7,500, and of course I was able to buy my wife a beautiful diamond ring, and you know, I shared with you that slide from I'll share with you that slide from a couple slides ago from our wedding, and definitely a great moment, great highlight. And you know, I've come a long way, and I tell you, I don't show you this to show off. You know, I show you this to inspire. I took my time at trading on one contract. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to share with you my stats from NinjaTrader. Okay, I think this is something that will show, you know, basically I know what, you know, I get it. You know, I was a member of a lot of programs myself, and I always ask, you know, go ahead, show us your results, you know, and no traders will. Okay, but bottom line is I'm going to share you my results from when I was a member. And you can see here, I just want to point out, this is, actually this is just one trade here. I want to point out that I'm going to, basically, right over here, I'm going to be going from January 1st, 2013, okay, and I'm only going to share with you my live accounts. Notice no DEM, no replay, no sim, just my live accounts. So very quickly, you can see here, quick snapshot, okay, in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, take a look over here, okay, the first month in January 2013 as a member, I made around $1,500 profit. Okay, second month in February, I made, again, around $1,500 of profit. And notice I started with a $2,000 account. So $1,500 is literally like almost doubling my account. In March, I made about $6,500 in profit. Okay? In April, I made about $4,500. And in May, I made over $7,000. Okay? So NinjaTrader is very cool because you could track all your stats with the account performance tab. And I'm going to share with you, well, what are some other things that I could share with you? Okay, so basically a summary over here. So I made $21,102.50 here, and you notice that's from this date to this date. That's 123 days, okay? And you know, so here's some real results I share with you. And you notice that this right here, this is not really a reliable statistic. You'll see here that from 200 trades, I was 66.67% were profitable. I'm actually going to share with you our track record. The reason why this is not so accurate is because, think about it. I was trading one contract on, let's say, 150 of these trades, and then later on when I started to trade 10 contracts, I could have 2 or 3 losses. That's 30 contracts that were losing. So this isn't the best statistic of whether or not there are winning trades, because this is accounting for each trade as per contract. So the bottom line is I made $21,000. I started with a $2,000 account in 123 days. That's the bottom line. And look at this profit factor and this cumulative profit. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's over 1,000% return on investment. Okay, and that's just ridiculous. Okay, so once again, here's a quick, showing you my profit loss. You can see the line just just going up very nicely. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to, one thing that many traders will ask, they'll ask to share with broker statements. So I don't normally do this, but I want to prove to you again how I made 900% return on investment with my $2,000 trading account. I'm going to share with you my broker statements. Okay, so let me go ahead and quickly do that. I know that will reassure a lot of people who want to see your broker statements. Take a look over here. Now, you'll see over here, there's some data that I removed here. Okay, you might be wondering, where's my name on this? Actually, I don't trade with my name. I trade with my business on it, so you wouldn't see my name either way. But basically, let's see here. I'm just getting out some drawing tools. There we go. Basically, over here, you see I started with a $2,000 account. Okay, my account balance was $2,285. Look at the end of the month, I had $3,700. So $1,500. Credits are great. Okay, we want credits. In March, okay, and that's March, of course, is covering February. From February 1st to the whole month of February, I had a $3,000 account. I made $1,600 in profit. I ended up the month of $5,000. Okay, so these are, you could see these mirror the same results from NinjaTrader. Just showing you, just verifying the results. Okay, in the month of March, okay, I started with a $5,000 account. And I made over $6,400 in profit. Okay, so $11,000 total equity at the end of March. And oops. And then, of course, April. In April, I had an $11,000 account, and I made around $4,800. So I hope you guys appreciate that. It's not something that it's hard for me to share this, but I do it because I know as a member that's what I would want to see. Okay, and so those are my real live results from when I was a member. So now what I want to do is I want to basically cover the TrapTrade software. Okay, the TrapTrade software. And by the way, guys, I want to thank you very much. I know, you're asking your question in the chat, but I want to re-engage your focus to stay with me. And because I really want you to make sure that you understand the TrapTrade. Okay, we're doing great. We have 25 minutes left in this presentation, and I really want to make sure that you we honed down and covered the trap trade. Okay, so the JBB trade. Okay, you got it. Basically, what we're doing is before the news comes out, we're placing two brackets. Okay, a couple seconds before the news comes out, one above the market price, one below the market price, and we're betting that there's going to be a decisive reaction, one way or another. Now, a lot of folks are concerned about slippage. Okay, with our new trap trade software, you don't need to worry about slippage, and I'll explain why with the video in just a second. But basically, what we noticed and how we evolved to the trap trade is we noticed that there were certain trades, okay, and you remember that losing trade that I shared with you? What happened? It spiked north, and then a few seconds later, it spiked back down, okay? And so we wanted to be able to profit on trades that are expected to be indecisive or have a spike that is shortly sustained and pulls back several ticks quickly. So what do we mean by the trap trade? Again, I'm going to cover this in the video right now. And I think that's the best way to illustrate it. Okay, so before I even go to the metaphor, I want to go ahead and cover the trap trade. Give me a second. Okay. Just a second, guys. I'm going to pull up my trap trade. Bear with me, everyone. Sorry, guys. For some reason, I think this video stuck with my last trade. I'm just trying to figure out how to get to the other trade. So just give me a second. Appreciate your patience. Well, for some reason, it doesn't want to show, but Yana, maybe I could ask for your assistance. I'm just trying to pull up in the video control panel, if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, it says video number 4, how to trap trade the news. No audio. Would you be kind enough to pull that up for me? Guys, sorry for the technical difficulties here. Can everyone see my slide live trap trade video 4? Can everyone see that? Hello? Hello?
Should be.
We're trying. There you go. Hi guys, I see that Eric was probably booted out of Omnovia. Surprise to everyone, I'm sure. But we are gonna wait. Ah, I see him. Cool.
Guys, apologize for that. My Omnivia froze. Can everyone hear me now? Yana, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Don't worry, guys. I wouldn't flake out on you guys. I appreciate you guys staying with me. Yana, thank you for entertaining everyone for the couple of minutes. I apologize for that. You guys ready to rock and roll? Let's go. Yeah, basically technology is what happened, Nick. Sorry about that. Basically, I noticed my timer was frozen, so eventually I figured it out. Don't worry about it, guys. news trading, technical difficulties, we could deal with it. Don Carlson, you want to know the price? Guess what, my friend? We're going to cover all the special stuff at the end. But first, let's cover the trap trade, right? No slippage. Let's find out what that's all about. Let's do it. So everyone should see my video player. And Yana, thank you again for helping out during that transition there. So here we go. Here's the trap trade, okay? So here's a little beautiful graphic of our bear claw, okay? And that kind of covers the essence of the trap trade. So here is a high impact report alert, the Australian Monetary Policy Minutes, okay? This came out on 7:30 p.m. This is from Monday, February 17th. And so basically here with the trap trade approach, okay, I'm going to explain this as the video goes on. What we're doing here is kind of the opposite of the JVB approach, okay? Because we're expecting that there's going to be a spike in one direction, and then a retrace really quickly right afterwards. So how do we take advantage of that? Well, Jay has developed a very sophisticated software called the Trap Trade, and watch what it'll do, okay? By the way, I just want to point out here, this is a better example of a high impact report alert. You see that over here, the kind of the information, and Jay, 24 hours in advance, okay, I just wanted in a nutshell, he was saying how this report mirrors another Australian report that came out several days ago, and he wasn't predicting whether or not it's going to go long or short, but what he was saying is that if we do get filled long, that would be ideal, and it would be ideal to patiently wait, okay, because that's what happened 2 days ago on a report. So watch what happens here, okay? And again, I'm going to make sure that you understand how the Trap Trade software works in this video. So in just a few seconds, I'm going to go ahead and share with you how I set up for the trade. So here's our strategy, and basically we use 2 tiers with the trap trade. Okay, what that means is kind of like setting up 2 different thresholds for where we predict the spike to go. And I know right now it's still not a clear picture, but I promise you, once we cover this trade in detail, you'll understand what I mean. Okay, so here we go. So the trap trade, what happens is 45 seconds before the news comes out, what will happen is we will, excuse me, just want to make this a little bit bigger for myself. So 45 seconds before the news comes out with the trap trade, you'll see we have 2 sell orders on top of the market price and 2 buy limit orders on the bottom. So why are we doing that? Well, what we're doing is we're basically anticipating that there's going to be a spike in one direction, either north or south, and then it's going to pull back. So unlike the JVB system, what we're doing is we're putting sell limits on top of the market price because we're expecting it to spike, maybe hit one of those 2 tiers, and then to go back down. So let me go ahead and play that. So what happens is 45 seconds before the news comes out, these will go into effect. Okay? And now what we do is manually we'll go ahead and use some of our pivot points to replace our limit orders. So just to be above or below the support and resistance lines, because usually when the price moves, sometimes it shoots out maybe a tick below or above the SMAs. So watch what happens here. Okay, so 45 seconds before the news comes out, we have our 2 sell limit orders on top, 2 buy limit orders on top. Okay, let me pause right here for a second. Can everyone see this video clearly? I just want to make sure, is everyone staying engaged and can see this video? Can I get some feedback, please? Awesome. Thank you, Pete. I just want to make sure everyone can see this video clearly. I'm going to go ahead and play it. Thanks, guys, for your participation. So, as we can see here, okay, 16 seconds before the news comes out. Now, normally we would watch the strategies tab, and if we see something funny would happen, we will disable the strategy with JVB. But this, we don't worry. We don't care if there's indecisive news because that's how we take advantage of it. So watch what happens here. Okay, in a couple seconds, the news is going to come out, and watch how our JVB system works. Okay, watch. Our trap trade software works. Okay, it just shot down and it hit 2 of our buy limits. So what happened there? The report spiked down south, short, okay, if you will, and hit our 2 buy limits. Now, immediately what happened, as soon as our buy limits hit, automatically protect us. And you notice it's just below the S2 mid, and right away I check to see if it's in a good location, and it is. So that S2 mid is in a great spot, and what about our profit targets? Well, that's where our other 2 sell limit orders, that's why they remain over there, because we're going to use them to get out of the trade. So now what we're doing is, since we bought here on the bottom, we're hoping that the price is going to reverse and go back up. Now, I'll be honest with you, okay? The trap trade is something that's new for myself, and so I'm also learning this myself, and that's why I'm not so used to, and I'm also usually concerned. I'm concerned that maybe I should, you get out right away because of the JV system. I'm usually used to locking in those profits right away. The trap trade, it's a more patient trade, okay? Now, what am I doing right here? I'm squeezing the charts, and I'm basically anticipating to see if our stop is in a good place here. So watch, everyone, okay? My stop's in a good position here, and you can see I'm starting to go in the green here, and I like to lock in the green here. So even though, Jay in his high impact report alert, he mentioned that you should be patient if we get filled, and we did get filled long here, I still get out over here around the PP very conservatively, and I lock in about $150. So nothing too spectacular, okay? 7 ticks on one, 8 ticks on another, but here's where I'm going to be kicking myself, okay? Because watch, just as Jay predicted 24 hours in advance in the high impact report alert, he was right. He said to patiently wait and watch how the trade keeps rocketing up. Okay, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Okay, the next couple of minutes, and you can see here that it takes off here. So I just want to pause right here. Does everyone understand now the JVB system? Excuse me, the trap trade. Can everyone understand the trap trade system? Just want to make sure if everyone understands the fundamental difference between the trap trade and the JVB trade. Okay, and if you don't, I'm going to make sure I re-engage and explain the differences. Bottom line is the JVB trade, what we're doing is we're basically predicting, we're betting that there's going to be a decisive reaction on the news, up or down, okay? On the trap trade, what we're doing is we're predicting that there's going to be a spike in one direction or another, and then there's going to be a reversal. That's why on the trap trade, we place a sell limit order on top, okay? Because we're predicting that there's going to be a spike north, for example, and we're going to sell it. Because once it hits the top of that, we know it's going to reverse. Now what I want to do is I'll put a metaphor here that I think will really make it sense for you, okay? John, I'll be happy to play this video for you a little bit slower, but I think this metaphor will really help, okay? I really do. And Steve, and I'll make sure, I really want to make sure that Matt, Rick, that you guys get it, okay? Think about this, okay? Let's pause for a second, okay? Let's pretend we're at an amusement park, okay? And you guys familiar with one of those rides, maybe you've been to Walt Disney World, called the Tower of Terror, where, this thing takes you all the way up and then it just shoots you down. Now let's pretend over here this ride over here, okay? Let's pretend that the price is going up, okay? That's the price action. So what we're doing with the trap trade is, okay, we're basically, let's say the people on the roller coaster, you see them at the top, we're selling right over there. We're predicting that there's going to be a spike up, and that's why we're selling right on top over here, because we're predicting that it's going to shoot back down here. That's the trap trade. And why don't we have any slippage? Why? Because we're getting in after the market, after the spike. Okay, we're selling where everyone's we're basically getting in after all that action with a limit order. There's virtually no slippage. And one of the things I'll tell you in our program, okay, is that when you sim trade, okay, let's say you sim trade on JVB, that's not going to be a realistic outcome of how you would have done live. Why? Because there are slippage factors, okay, and the demo version is not able to capture that. But the trap trade, don't need to worry about it. If you make money on the sim trade while you're sim trading, that's an accurate predictor of how you'll do live. So, John, I see the smiley face. I just wanted to make sure, does it make sense now, the trap trade? Are you guys kind of getting the fundamental difference? I really want to make sure that everyone understands. The JVB trade, what we're doing is we're betting decisively there's going to be a breakout in one direction or another. On the trap trade, we're kind of trading the reversal. And we have an hour together, but I'll be happy to share more information with you. If you opt in, I'll be happy to present to you some additional educational stuff. Okay, perfect. Crystal clear now. Matt, awesome. So here we go. I know that everyone wanted to know about our results. So here are our 2-year JVB track record. Okay. Now, basically, you can see how Jay he breaks down all the results on an Excel spreadsheet, and he tracks all of our data. Bottom line here's overall data. Okay, we traded in 2012. These are JVB statistics. We traded 357 reports. Of those 357 reports, 80.7% were profitable. So Chris, 50-50? I'm sorry, I don't think so. Okay, more like 80.7% profitable. Okay, that's truly an amazing statistic. 9% were indecisive. So those are the reports where immediately when the news comes out, it'll go up and down and stop us out. Okay, so unfortunately that'll happen maybe once out of every 10 times. Okay, well, is that worth the risk? Certainly. 80.7% profitable. I'd be happy to take one or two losers for every 8 wins. Dull reports. Those are reports where there's nothing, the news came out and there's no huge spike, so we'll just cancel our bracket orders and we'll get out safely. Okay? 2013, okay? In 2013, notice a lot more reports that we were trading, okay? We gained a lot more reports in our program thanks to Jay's amazing research. 428 reports. Out of 428 reports, 79.9% were profitable. Okay, 79.9% profitable. 15% were indecisive. So again, out of 10 reports, about 80% of them are profitable. Okay, amazing statistic. What about now, 2014? I asked Jay to pull up the Q1 2014 stats. Okay, that's covering January, February, and March. And take a look here. Okay, our JVB, we had 75 trades. 78.7% were profitable. Okay, their trap trade, okay, our new trap trade, we had 27 reports, 81.5% profitable. Okay, so amazing statistics here. Okay, this is no joke. Okay, this is the real deal here. And like I said, when you come into our program, you're gonna have a full live chat room where you get to talk with other traders, and you'll see that people are being very successful, and that's one of the reasons why we have a very high success rate. So a great question, how do we know to use the JVB trade or the trap trade? That's specified in the high impact report alert. And that brings us to our members area tour, okay? Basically, when you come into our program, okay, we are an educational website and a software company. It's not like we're going to just give you the software and say, good luck, okay? This is a fully packaged program. You come into our program, you'll get access to our trap trade software, excuse me, access to our JVB software, and then of course you're going to get access to our membership area. So over here is like a little snapshot, but over here you'll see you have a get started area full of instructional videos, okay, lots of helpful videos for you to get started, lots of historical data here, so you could actually go ahead and click, let's say the non-farm, you can see the non-farm for the past 18 months, okay, so definitely unbelievable. A lot of great content over here. So this is a quick little screenshot of our members area. Now, bankroll management, believe it or not, we don't have that much time, but bottom line is, guys, for our traders, bankroll management is key, okay? It doesn't matter if you're having a hot run. At the end of the game, it's all about bankroll management, okay? So preservation of capital, what I'm talking about there is, let's say you guys want to come into our program, okay? Let's say you start off with a several $1,000 account, okay? I started off with a $2,000 account. I'd recommend you come in something a little bit larger, at least maybe 2,500 to 5,000. That would be at least a better start. Okay, preservation of capital is about preserving that capital. Okay, if you have $2,000 or $2,500, okay, that's a very low account. You want to make sure that, let's say you need $1,000 margin to trade crude oil on one contract. You want to make sure that if you don't go below $2,000, otherwise, guess what? You're not going to be able to trade. So you want to be able to preserve your capital. So basically, from this slide, bottom line is it's very important to understand risk tolerance. I recommend never risking more than 5%. Okay, personally, I never trade risk more than 4%. Okay, and remember, if we're conservative, we build up our profit with trading futures, we can become very wealthy. Okay, but we have to do it nice and slowly, and we have to build our account nice and slowly. So that's the name of the game. So the value of JVB. So what are you going to get if you come into our program? Okay, you're going to get a JVB software, trap trade software for up to 2 computers, depending. Okay, you're going to get free software upgrades as enhancements are made. You're going to get step-by-step instructions, like explain to you exactly how to set up the program. And one of the most extremely valuable things is the high impact report alerts that you're going to get 24 hours in advance. Okay. One thing I didn't mention, we're actually having a bi-weekly webinar this Saturday for our members. So it's a great opportunity for you to join this today, tomorrow, and take a look at one of our bi-weekly webinars. So every single 2 weeks on the weekends, we'll have Jay, okay, will lead a webinar that covers all of the trades from the previous 2 weeks, all the winners, all the losers. He'll explain why the winners were winners and why the losers were losers. So full transparency in our program. You won't see that in many programs, okay? We'll cover every single report. We have a live trade chat room, where you'll meet other JV members, and you'll have the opportunity to share your results with members. So you take a trade, log into the JV chat room, and share with everyone how you did and see how and learn from everyone. You'll get monthly newsletters from myself. Okay, you have full access to our membership website, okay, which has detailed images of each report analysis. I have many people coming into our room, and they don't really, I'm not the biggest fan of news trading, okay, but when they see our detailed images and Jay's report analysis of each reaction, they're extremely impressed, and they use this data for their normal swing trades or skill trades, if you will, okay. All recorded course materials and webinars are in our membership area, okay. We have a list of red reports, of reports not to trade, rules and warnings. And so basically, here are the new features for 2014. We have our trap trade. We have our new JV Insider and new interviews with JV Gurus that are going to be coming out soon. Basically, I'm going to be interviewing successful JV members. So guys, I know it's been a while, and I know you guys want to know what the special offer is. We're going to get to that in just a second, okay? But bottom line is I want to let you know is we also don't hide behind our website, okay? Jay and I are here for you, okay? We treat our business like a family. You come into our program, you email us, and we have support for you. We'll get back to you within 24 hours. So what are the major benefits of JVB? Well, bottom line is think about it. This is one of the few programs out there, okay, where you're able to know exactly when you're going to trade. We trade about 50 trades a month, okay? So benefit of JV, do you want to trade a predictable spike in the market without the stress and uncertainty of order placement? Well, with our software, you can set up your computer in less than 10 minutes before report, trade it, and be done in about 15 minutes, okay? That's amazing. So if you're someone who has a full-time day job, someone who doesn't really want to sit in front of a desk all day long, then this is designed just for you. That's the bottom line. Okay, once we enter into a JVB trade, we are out usually within seconds. So the question that everyone wants to know, is it worth the cost? Well, I'm going to share with you the cost in just a second, but bottom line is you can make your investment back in JV with 1 to 3 successful trades with only one contract. Okay, and we offer a 30-day risk-free guarantee. Okay, so the benefit of JVB, well, here's the benefit of JV: the freedom to be where you want, doing what you want when you want. Okay, so be able to make money on the news within seconds, stress-free with our JVB trade. You're going to be able to profit on indecisive news spikes while others are on the sidelines. You'll know exactly when you're going to take a trade with specific settings and instructions provided 24 hours in advance with our high-impact report alerts. No other trading program can match the lifestyle that we bring to the table. Okay, so I'm going to skip over this business metaphor. Here's the question, okay, how much does it cost? Well, here's the better question: what is it worth? Okay, with JVB, our members have earned over $25,000 on the single trade. Okay, have earned more money per minute than most people earn per hour. Here's a recent testimonial from Dean March. Hi, Eric. I have earned $28,000 in the last week of trading reports. Okay, that's real money live. Okay, some manual, some auto. I am super stoked. Okay, so we have a member in March. Okay, $28,000 in their first week. So how much will we charge for such a program? Here's a recent testimonial in our chat room. Somebody made 100 ticks on natural gas. It's a report that came out today. Well, how about this? This is our normal offer, $197 for your first 30 days. Is that fair? That's very fair. Okay? But thanks to Trading Pub, we're going to offer a very special. We're going to drop off $50 for everyone that joins our program today. And we're going to run that special till next Thursday. Okay? So I want to give everyone a little bit of time. I'm not going to force everyone to come in till midnight. So let me just quickly go. Yana, if you don't mind giving me a few minutes here. I know we're running down to the minute, but basically, our website is newjob.com, NEWJOBB.com, and you type in the special coupon code Trading Pub. Just type it in lowercase TRADINGPUB, Trading Pub, and you'll get $50 off your first month. Okay, that's the special that we're running through with today. And once after your first month, okay, it costs $147. You'll have the opportunity to choose three plans. $67 a month. The silver package, that'll give you 1 license. The gold package will give you 2 licenses. And the diamond package is the 1-year payoff. So $147, that's good until Thursday. And I'm going to also throw in a free 1-hour coaching call with myself. Okay, I'm going to spend 1 hour with you getting you help set up. Okay, so once again, NEWJBB.com, coupon code Trading Pub. And again, free bonuses if you opt into our program, NEWJBB. Yana, I know time is up. I just wanted to have a second to, first of all, thank everyone so much. An hour and 15 minutes, and then here, I hate that I had to rush here. But yes, the 30-day money-back guarantee. Yana, give me a second to explain it really quickly. Here's the deal with the 30-day money-back guarantee, okay? I don't want any impulsive buyers in our program. Here's how our 30-day money-back guarantee works, okay? As long as you sign up for our program, and I'll leave this up here for just 30 seconds here. As long as you sign up for our program, and you sign up for a free coaching call with myself within your first 14 days, okay, then you will qualify for the 30-day risk-free guarantee, okay, with our program. Why do I do that? It's not to create a marketing gimmick. You know, it's not to make a loophole. It's because I know that if you spend 1 hour with me, once you come into the program, you take the action, you'll have much better chance of success. And that's the bottom line. So again, I'm not going to rush you to make an impulsive buy by midnight tonight. I'm going to give you 1 week until midnight Thursday, and this special is going to go away. Okay, so that's coupon code TradingPub. You'll just go onto the website, you'll click on the monthly option, okay, and you'll be able to come in here at $147 for your first 30 days. So once again, the website is newjbb.com. You could definitely opt in to get those free bonuses, and without a doubt, you can email me, and I'll be happy to answer all those questions. So again, please take advantage of a 30-day money-back guarantee. I'm looking forward very much to working with you. Thank you guys so much. Lisa, definitely, just to make it clear, the software is included with that, absolutely. As soon as you make payment of $147, everything is digital. You'll have access to the trap trade and the JV trade. I know I'm running over, so I just want to leave this slide up for a second. Make sure you write down Trading Pub, mark down the deadline, and mark down our website. Yana, and everyone else, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys joining with me, and I'm just looking forward to working with you, bottom line. And I want to reiterate one last time, we're going to have a bi-weekly webinar for our members this Saturday. So not to push you to come in, but definitely a good opportunity for you to come in, let's say today or tomorrow, because you'll be able to see how our bi-weekly webinars work. So Yana, thank you so much. And for everyone else, I'm just going to quickly put in my email address here in the chat room. If you're not able to get your answered question, if you're not able for me to answer your question right now, I'm going to go and enter in my email right now. Thank you guys very much, and thank you, Yana, so much for having me on Trading Pub. This has been fantastic.